Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabans. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show. We'll cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we'll give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And things are getting pretty heated out there. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. So this show is kind of piggybacking off of a show that we just recently produced. And that show was focused on some comments that Michael Wilbon had to make on PTI, I believe it was yesterday, about the announcement that Bruce Pearl was going to be stepping down from the coaching job that he had. Various voices like Dave Portnoy, others in the right right-leaning voices have also reacted to what Wilbon had to say. People have already expressed their views. If you guys like, we can read you just some of what these guys had to say, because this is going to be a robust conversation here today. So let's get into what Dave Portnoy said. He said, "What an idiotic comment from Wilbon. Kornheiser shouldn't have rolled over. Apparently, Wilbon only likes athletes/coaches who speak on social issues if they align with his views. Otherwise, you are divisive. What a narrow-minded view." Another guy, Clay Travis, says, "Mike Wilbon says Bruce Pearl has become a divisive figure and he hopes someone forced him out. First, that didn't happen. Second, how is he divisive? The vast majority of people in the SEC agreed with everything he ever said." Another guy said, and then he also said in continuation, he says, "Also, my coach, great guy. He's a strong defender of Israel, sure, but is that divisive? Only if you're a free Palestine nut job. Pearl is actually a huge defender of religious liberty. He has always been disappointing attack." I got to stop Clay Travis here. You're being a hypocrite. You're being a hypocrite. I didn't read the full statement that you made the first time. You're being hypocritical here. Because the thing that you're just accusing Wilbon of doing is what you just did just here. I'll go back to it. He said, he's a strong defender of Israel, sure, but is that divisive? Only if you're a free Palestine nut job. Well, you just disqualified yourself from the conversation. Because how are you any better than Michael Wilbon for his views when you just call him a nut job? I'm lost. So you disqualify yourself here. You're saying that somebody that holds a different view from you is a nut job. So then why should anybody be taking what you're saying seriously? You're saying that your point of view needs to supersede his. Why? And then saying that you're attacking the guy for doing what you just did. You even did worse, because you're now saying that anybody that supports Palestine is a nut job. Come on, are you being serious? So you disqualify yourself from this conversation. Let's move forward. I'm not here to twerk for nobody. Let's continue on. This is from Tim Brando. Good for Tony here. This show is the best of its kind, and this is why. As for Michael, even when I disagree, I've never found him to be crude, but he, in my opinion, was in this instance. Tony's reaction was priceless and brings the dialogue back to the center. It's just good for television. Someone else said, Danny Cannell, "What a lame take. Wilbon puts on full display what is wrong in today's society. He used to like him, but because he made his political and religious views known, it makes him a divisive and weak figure. Weak." That's what he had to say. And then some other voices weighed in as well. Fantastic. So in the midst of me researching this topic, I then tried to understand, well, who is Bruce Pearl? Or rather, what are some of the things that he has said? Because there's another aspect to this where a lot of people are kind of rejecting him in terms of people not wanting to send their kids to his college. I mean, to his program that are black kids and all. And I'm like, wait, what did he say? So I had to hunt this information down, and I came across some sound here, and I could only find it on what is it? Initially, they had it on Fox News or whatever it is, but I want to play some sound that he had to, some things that he had to say. And I want you guys to listen to what he had to say, because in this sound, he was talking about Charlie Kirk and everything that he had to say there. So I want you guys to listen to what Bruce Pearl had to say there, and then want to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to his comments here.
Charlie was a man of faith. He knew where he was going when his time came. I know that's not what he was planning on, because he had so much to live for here. Dan, he was leading, I think, the most important revival that was taking place in our country, and that was young, conservative, Christian people who were on fire for God, who were on fire for Jesus, who were on fire for this country to help get involved in service and the process, and also began to see just that the other side was so different than how they felt about faith and family and the right to life and so many things that we sort of take for granted as part of our DNA. The opposition is pulling farther apart from us, and also getting more violent. And I think the reason why they're getting more violent is because, like Charlie Kirk proved every time he debated and had a discussion, he was on the side of right. He was on the side of good. He was on the side of accurate history and for the most part of what he talked about. And they couldn't beat him. And so they killed him. They murdered him. They assassinated him. They eliminated him. But what they didn't realize is they actually didn't. Because he is going to live on. He's going to live on through all of us that followed him, that learned from him. Because here's the deal, Dan. Like, Dan, you are one of the best at what you do. You are. But we all, and I'm pretty good at what I do too. But none of us could touch Charlie. I mean, he had a different gift, and he'll be sorely missed.
Excellent. So you heard what he had to say. Now, I think it's better if I show you why people are upset or why people are not a fan of what Pearl just said versus me saying it. Because if I say it, people will think that, oh, Charles, is just your opinion. No, I want to just kind of illustrate why some people may not agree with everything that he said. For instance, which was one of the things he said was everything that Kirk said was right. There's some people that would vehemently disagree with this. So what we want to do is I came across some sound here from TTY Sports. He was the only one that I could find under this short period of time that was able to put together a quick compilation of some sound of what Charlie Kirk had to say. So what we want to do is I want to play what this gentleman put together here on some of the things that Charlie Kirk said, and I'm going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to what he had to say here.
If I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified. It begs the question, when you see a black pilot, you wonder, you say, I hope they are qualified. And in the spirit of affirmative action, we have Ramon and Cadillac are your two pilots. They've never flown before, but they are black. If I'm dealing with somebody in customer service who's a moronic black woman, is she there because of her excellence, or is she there because of affirmative action? I'm only here because of affirmative action. Yeah, we know you do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously.
The war on white people continues.
You had to go steal a white person's slot to go be taken somewhat seriously. Blacks in America did not have the same rights they had today. Data shows they were actually better in the 1940s.
Let's get loud for Kyle Rittenhouse.
I'm also going to offer some context and some nuance about the death of George Floyd that no one dares to say out loud, which is that this guy was a scumbag. Prowling blacks go around for fun to go target white people. There's no such thing as white privilege or racism. Skin color now gets their own summertime celebration. Oh wow, look how far blacks have come. It has now become a racial complaining.
There's a mythology around MLK that does not warrant the reverence that he gets treated with in America.
Kirk describes King as, quote, a bad guy. It's true.
Excellent. So now we have everything, right? We have his comments. We have this sound. Now we can unpack this issue thoroughly. What are my thoughts about this? If Bruce Pearl was a supporter of Charlie Kirk, my brother, there's nothing wrong with that. If that's who you want to support, God bless your heart and support who you want to support. If you feel like his views aligned with yours and his values aligned with yours, fantastic. It is your given human right. God gave us all what? Free will. It is your free will to support him. Totally fine. And I would never say, oh, don't go support. Do what you want to do. I'm not here to restrict people. But just because you support him doesn't mean everybody else needs to. Just because you view him in a particular light, in a sanctimonious light, or whatever it is, doesn't mean everybody else will. Why? Because no two people are the same. No two people are the same. So one thing that one person may like, the other person may find detestable. I just played you a quick compilation of some of the things that Charlie Kirk had to say about blacks. That's offensive to a lot of blacks. Not all blacks. There's some blacks that see no issue with it at all, right? But to a lot of blacks, those comments are offensive. Yeah, that's how it works. That's how it works. You know, that's literally how it works. Some people are going to love what you say. Some people are not. Now, The issue now becomes, if you don't like what I like, something is wrong with you. If you don't agree with my position on, for instance, Charlie Kirk, oh, then something is wrong with you. Oh, you're not a Christian. What? What? No, it doesn't work like that. I'm a Christian and I don't have any animus or never had any animus towards this guy, but I don't agree with some of the stuff that he said. What does this Christianity have to do with him being right on these issues? Why are we dragging God? You see, some of you people are playing with God. Some of you people are playing with God. And you're using his name to involve him in the foolishness that people want to do on this earth. Y'all gonna pay for that. You see, when I talk about I don't be doing all of that, I don't do it. I don't do it because, number one, I'm not perfect. Don't play with the Lord's name when it comes to these kind of things. Don't say, oh, because this guy is a Christian, so therefore this and no. Don't do that. Because I'm a Christian too. And I don't agree with nothing he said in that soundbite about black, nothing. So why does your Christianity supersede mine? Because some people are trying, well, he's a Christian. No. That ain't got nothing to do with Christianity. Those have to do with the way he viewed the world and the prism in which he viewed the world. If you say DEI is an issue, for instance, it's an issue for some people. For them, it's a major issue. I'm not going to get into the question of what, because I've never heard of the term DEI. The first question I'll ask is, what does it mean? That's the very first question a sensible, reasonable person would ask. A sensible, reasonable human being would ask. What does DEI mean? Diversity, equity, inclusion. The next question a sensible, logical, thinking person would say is, why was it created? That's the very next question, one with their thinking cap with that. Why was this thing created? Then an honest person will step up to the lectern and say, hey, Charles, this is the reason this thing was created, right? There was an imbalance in the system. So therefore, provisions like this, initiatives like this had to be created. Okay, I understand. Then we move to the next stage because Kirk, some of these comments were coming from that premise of DEI, meaning if a black, a Latino, whoever, a rabbit, a dog, a goat, a chicken, a chimpanzee got a job, right, in a place that was dominated by, zebras. There's usually zebras work there, and we now got these guys. He's saying if I see one of these other people walk in here, I'm going to be asking the question, are they qualified to be here or not because of the diversity, equity, inclusion? Well, then you got to ask the other part of the question. Just because you're there, what makes you qualified? You never thought about it that way, right? So for those that are not there because of diversity, what makes them aren't there people that hold positions that are not qualified for it? Don't we see it every single day across all walks of life, across all industries? That's the first thing. The second thing, it plays into a wider stereotype, which is if you see a black guy or a black woman in a position of influence or power or whatever, somehow, some way, these people they must have gotten there through some type of chance. Somebody must have gave them an opportunity, because left to their own merits, they definitely would not get that position. Meaning to say, left to their own God-given abilities, they don't have the capacity to get to those roles. And this is where I begin to ask questions to people that adhere to this line of thinking. What kind of black people you be coming across? What kind of black people do you come across? Because it seems like you have this stereotypical view of blacks. For whatever reason, whoever these people are must truly think, oh man, blacks are just inherently dumb. Who told you? Who told you that? Who told you? Go look up in the UK. What ethnic group have the highest scores in academia? Go look it up. Who you gonna see? Let me straighten up my shirt. The Igbos. The Igbos. That would be me. They outperform the Asians, the whites, the Igbos. What color am I? What color am I? Last time I checked, I'm black, right? Last time I checked, I'm black, right? So if blacks are inherently dumb and all of this stuff, then how are they able to do so well in academia? How come, for instance, Nigerians are so good at math, they're so good at science, they're so good at how do you explain it? One of the most educated groups in the United States are who? Black women in terms of degree holders. But if you listen to these comments, you would think that, man, he's making a point. He ain't making no point. He's only making a point to those that want to believe that, or they don't have the information, or they've been given the wrong information. This is the point. There are people that think that whites are inherently racist. Do you know that? Are you aware of this? That there's some people that think whites are inherently racist. I don't think so. Do you know why? Because I've met a lot of white people that aren't. You see how that works? I've met a lot of white people that aren't. So I don't hold that view. But when Kirk says stuff like that, it reinforces this stereotype. Hence the reason people push back on that notion. And you can't guise it in, oh, I'm a Christian. It don't work. It doesn't work. There's nothing biblical about it. It doesn't come from a place of love. It doesn't come from a place of virtue. It has nothing to do with that. We all have the Bible. What are we talking about here? Huh? How many Bibles do I have in my office? What are we talking about here? How many Bibles? How many Bibles do I have? I read this Bible. Which one do you read? Pull up the chapter, the verse, the book where they mention this. Where they mention this. So what are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? And I don't like the fact that there are people that are trying to play games, play mind games. If I was around people that say, hey man, blacks are dumb, I'm not rocking with you. I'm not going to be around you because you look down on me. So unless I have very low self-esteem, why would I be standing around you? Why would I be wanting to hear what you have to say? Now, does Kirk have the right to express his views? Sure. Absolutely he does. It's his freedom. It's his right, especially in the United States. But there are people that also have the right to say, I disagree. And if because they disagree, doesn't mean that they're not Christians. That's my point. I'm a Christian, raised as a Pentecost since I was a baby, and I disagree. So what's the point here? What's the point? And the saddest part about this is I don't think like this about any group. I don't go around. I don't spend my time analyzing groups of people. I don't do it. I don't do it. I'm way more evolved beyond that. I don't do that. I don't waste my time with it. It's not an endeavor that I'm looking to undertake anytime soon. This is the point that I'm making. So I think it's important we play this sound and you get both views. I played Pearl's views. A lot of people are going to agree with him, which is their bloody right to do so. But I'm going to play you some of this other sound. And it's easy to see why others will be revolted by some of the things that he said. And if you're a virtuous person, you should. You should. If you're a white person that with an open mind, you would hear that and say, but no, wait a minute. That's wrong. That's wrong. I'm not going to try to intellectualize these comments. This is wrong. This is wrong, what he's saying. It's wrong. It sends the wrong message because I myself know better than that. I know better than that. So why I should be the one to say this is wrong. It's wrong. Just like if a black person, man, all white people are racist. That's not true. It's not true. It's not true at all. At all. So you should be the one correcting it. These are my thoughts.